Welcome back to Boy Band Break, where we encourage you to take a break from your work schedule, your vacation, whatever you might be up to, and join us in some boy band conversation. As always, my name is Diane.
I'm Chinzia.
And I'm Sophia.
And I'm Lydia, a.k.a. Mama Lou.
And guys, we have a birthday. On April 25th, it will be Jacob Underwood's birthday.
Aww.
From O-Town.
O-Town. So happy birthday, Jacob. And
Happy
he'll
birthday,
be
Jacob.
39.
Ooh.
Almost 40.
Mm-hmm.
Happy
Anyways.
birthday, Jacob.
So happy Easter, everyone.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Happy Easter to you as well, Diane.
Happy Easter to you as
we
well,
are
Diane.
currently, as we revealed, we are currently in Vegas not at the moment that we're recording this, but
We wish
at
we
the
were.
moment that this will come out, we are in Vegas, and it is Easter Sunday.
And we had two amazing shows that we went to
They were
yesterday
so
and the day
good.
before. Backstreet's back. All right.
Anyways, so
Lydia, how did you like the shows?
I thought it was okay. Nick was a little bit revealing at times, but it was all right.
We will discuss this in a
when he whipped
future
his wiener
episode.
out,
Yeah.
Self-fulfilling prophecies.
right?
Yes. Okay, good.
Anyways, look forward to our real Vegas review and vlog. Hopefully, is what we'll do.
If we're not lazy, we will.
Next week and possibly the week after, depending on how much footage we got.
Ooh, I feel like we're going to get lots of footage.
So look out for that next week. This week, it's Easter, and for Easter, I wanted to give the people what they want.
And what is that, Diane?
So I spoke to the people, and by people, I mean a few of the 8 people that listen to this show.
Thank you.
There's at least 20
thank you,
people that
guys.
listen.
We appreciate
I
Thank
you.
you,
said-
Paula.
Yeah, exactly.
Audrey.
I said to the people, I said,
And Gina.
"What do you like, people? What do you like about this show?" And do you know what the people said?
That it's short.
Yeah, please don't make it any longer, is what they said. No. They said they like the games, and they said they like our stories about our experiences.
Aw.
We also like those two things.
Yes,
That's good.
So it goes hand in hand.
So, today I'm going to try to give you both. Okay?
Do we get dry erase boards?
We do not get dry erase. Do you see dry erase boards here, Chinzia?
This is the theater of the mind,
It's
Diane.
theater of the mind. There's no dry erase boards. So, there's no would you rather. I thought that was a little played out. There is, however, a contest. Are you
What
ready?
kind of contest?
You going
Diane? Tell
down?
us.
Mhm.
So, during the course of this podcast, and speaking of theater of the mind, you can just imagine this, okay? During the course of this podcast, I have given each of us a ceramic egg.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Eggs
Where
are,
did this come from?
are white.
magic.
What? They have nothing on them. And we are going to be decorating these eggs in the theme of Easter, but also in the theme of boy bands.
Our
Okay.
favorite thing.
So, we're going to be painting them. You have paints, you have paintbrushes. And at the end of the show today, we're going to post up the pictures of these eggs, and you guys can vote. Who has the best boy band Easter egg?
Obviously me.
Me as well.
Okay. Anyways, and then while we're painting, I thought, what better to talk about during our painting of Easter eggs than some of our favorite memories? We've done an episode like this already, although we
Easter
were not
memories?
Easter
No.
memories,
Okay.
boy band
Boy band
memories.
memories.
Very specific boy band.
See, here I thought you were going to say because Jesus comes back from the dead, so like boy bands that have resurged.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Lydia's like,
No,
that's second.
Shinzia has taken it too far.
Oh, excuse me.
So, anyways, I just thought it would be nice to talk about some of our favorite memories, as you would at an Easter dinner table or lunch table or, when you're with the ones you love.
Aw, Dee.
Do you love us? And we didn't know.
Obviously.
Aw.
Do you love me?
P.S. As I start here, I would just like everyone to know that I bought these at the dollar store. And so this paint is shite.
It is. It's like crumbly.
It's like
Paint is
weirdly
very
thick and yeah.
Anyways,
Okay.
so
Should have brought some.
bear that in mind. All right, so based on the last time and you guys being like, what? I have no memories. I don't know what you're talking
It's
about.
just hard to remember on the spot when things come. to
I
you.
wrote down some ideas for us to talk about.
Oh,
Excellent.
very
Okay.
convenient.
So I thought we would talk about the origins of Dick Splash. Because I feel like we haven't
Excellent.
talked about that yet. So does anyone want to start? Do you want me to start?
So
you
we
start?
had gone to the drive-in to watch This Is the End.
Yes.
So it was me,
had
Sophia,
Beck with it.
and Diane, and was anybody else with us?
No,
It was just us three.
Okay. So we were at the drive-in, and obviously there's always two movies. So This Is the End was the second movie. So the first one was Superman,
Something.
one of the many Superman movies. So then in it, so we were really not really paying attention. There was a man who was peeing in some bushes beside us. Like it was just very funny. We were laughing at that man, and then we like come back to the video, the movie, and the guy was calling Superman as a kid. He said something like Dick Splash, and we're like, did he just call?
You're a Dick Splash.
I'm like, did he just call Superman a Dick Splash? And we're like, what the hell is that? So we were like killing ourselves laughing. We're like, this is amazing. And then for some reason, this was the tour that Jesse McCartney was opening for the Backstreet Boys.
I think it was In a World Like This.
Yeah. So we had already like made the Dick Splash and we thought that was like funny. But then he was doing this like motion, which like kind of like rolling the dice or like.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it was like pointing down like a gun or something, and then he was like rolling the dice in another song, and then we just kind of added that, so that became like the Dick Splash like move.
It was like explosion or whatever.
It was like an explosion. So we're like, we just thought it was a really funny word and whatever. So then Diane decides that it's going to be a good idea to then put this on my phone.
No, what happened was Chinzia was like, guys, we're going to leave at 6 a.m. for wherever the hell we were going. Boston, I want to say.
Sure.
And she's like,
Chicago?
we're leaving.
Chicago.
No, it wasn't Chicago. We
Okay.
didn't go to Chicago for that.
No, it was Boston.
Oh, yeah, for that tour, yes.
And she's like, we're leaving at 6 a.m. sharp or whatever time it was supposed to be. And at 6 a.m. sharp, I'm sitting there at her kitchen table, and she's upstairs, like, doing God knows what.
No. Oh, okay, yes.
And so I was, like, bored waiting for her. And so I was like, how can I mess with Chinzia? And so I put Dick Splash into her phone in as many ways as I possibly could. So I created a contact named Dick Splash. And
Like, literally, I've never found any of these other ones, but just...
I made a note that said, like, Dick Splash in big letters and whatever. And, like, the most successful prank was that I created an alarm that was set to go off at 5 p.m. that said Dick Splash. So, whatever. It goes off, like, the first time. It's not really that relevant. Chinzia's like, what the hell is this? You know.
Yeah.
But this is a daily alarm, okay? So it goes off
Every
day
single day.
at 5 p.m. So cut to a couple days later, and we're at... I'm pretty sure it was
We were in Boston. We were definitely in Boston, yeah.
And these guys are inside the Wiley trailer with Leanne.
So Leanne being Brian from the Backstreet Boys' wife.
Sells.
She used to sell
accessories
and
totes,
bags.
everything really.
So anyway, so we're there, and I'm taking a picture. So I take a picture of, like, Sophia on my phone. So then I hand
With
my
Leanne,
phone over to Sophia so she can take a picture of me and Leanne. But then 5 o'clock comes along at this point. So then the alarm goes off, and Sophia gives me this disgusted look, like she has no idea what the heck we're talking about. And Leanne's looking at the phone being like, why does the phone say Dick Splash? And they're both looking at me, and then had to kind of like explain the story. And at this point we had come up with the hand gesture because we had already seen Jesse doing this. So Leanne thought it was hilarious, and she's like, I'm going to tell Jesse, and I'm going to do that motion. And it was funny, but then I just kept it on my phone for like ever. And even when I switched phones, I took the SIM card with me, and it brought the alarm over, which which was
did.
amazing. And then at another point, Diane went in and like changed it to also add the eggplant and wet emoji also to that.
Yes.
So another thing was I was at work and I was with my boss and I had my phone out on the desk and the Dick Splash alarm comes on and he looks at me and he looks at the phone. He's like, "Do you need to go deal with that?" And I was just like, no. But yeah, no, it constantly goes off and I forget. So none of my current coworkers look to see what it is. They just get annoyed by the sound of it. But yes, it's been going on for at least years.
It also
At least
reminds
6
Chinzia
years.
that she should leave work at 5 p.m.
Thank you.
I don't.
Never do.
No, but it's good to know.
Now,
And then it also,
a
we
bit
use
better,
the
no?
term Dick Splash as a term of endearment, I feel sometimes.
No, I wanted to talk about the picture. The Dick Splash picture.
Yes, at the Pittsburgh after party.
Oh, yes. Yes, that's a good one.
So these guys were like, we need to make Backstreet Boys do a Dick Splash picture. We actually got Brian to do it on one of the cruises.
Yes, when I was finished
Wiley
modeling
fashion
my
show?
Wiley ensemble, I did the Dick Splash at the end of my turn, and Brian followed me afterwards.
He
It
didn't
was
know.
great.
He didn't know what he was doing.
No,
I would just like to point
but
out
it
I
was
was
fun.
painting my egg and I wasn't looking and I got some other color in it, so it's now
Oh.
changing
In
color.
your egg or in the paint?
Both.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Continue with your story.
Why am I sharing paint with Chinzia?
I don't know.
know.
Anyways. Yes. So, anyways, they were like, we need to make the Backstreet Boys do this in a picture. And I was like, I can't see how that's going to work. And they're like, we'll just tell them we're rolling the dice. Because I think at this point they had announced Vegas or something.
Yes, yes.
And maybe not. I don't know. Anyways.
Yes, they were, yeah.
Or they were thinking about doing
Yeah,
it.
I feel like they were thinking about it.
So we're like... So I'm like, I have no part of this.
So yeah, Dee didn't want to be a part
So
of that.
Sophia and I
Chinz
obviously
I,
like to
obviously,
embarrass
of course,
Diane.
yes, it's
And
fun.
try to get whatever. So we were in Pittsburgh, and when we went to go buy the after party thing, we're like, "Listen, Justin, how many people are in this picture?" And he's like, 4 or 5. And I'm like, "There's 3 of us. Can we just have the 3 of us in this picture?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's fine. I don't care." I'm like, "Okay, just confirming now that we're cool with just 3 of us." He's like, yeah, it's good. So then we go, and for the after party, it was all of them except Brian.
Yes.
Yeah, so Kevin was even there. So meanwhile, whoever was
AJ's the one that's usually not there.
and it was in like a weird like shed
It was like a
on
barn
the
almost.
barn or
Yeah, it
something
was
like
weird.
on the property in Pittsburgh. So anyways, so we're all ready to go. We said to Justin like, "Hey buddy," or we said to Eddie, I can't remember. There was somebody at the thing. And we're like, "There's just the 3 of us." Yeah, that's fine. So we go in to go do this, and then friggin' Kevin was talking to the people in front of him because I don't remember who it was. Was it Nikki or was it somebody else?
Somebody else.
It was somebody else, and they wanted a Kevin tattoo. So they wanted Kevin to sign their arm and whatever. So he was taking time to chit-chat with them. So meanwhile, all this was going on. Does anybody want to say? So Diane didn't want to talk.
I was like, I can't.
Because this was when she was still pretty nervous talking.
Yeah.
And
I was
obviously-
like, I can't reasonably ask them
To jerk off in a
to
picture.
jerk off in a photo. Like, I can't. Like, not really jerk off, but like make them motion.
Yes.
So I was like, you guys have to do it, and I'll just stand in the middle and look pretty.
So
So
Sophia went first.
So I went first, and then I went to AJ, and I was like, "Hey AJ, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna be rolling the dice." And then he's like, "But this looks like something else." And I was like, "It is. Don't worry. Shh."
So yes. So then Diane's
And
just
she's waiting for Kevin to come back.
So,
I'm
yeah,
waiting for
so-
Kevin to come back.
So it's like, so it'd be Kevin, AJ, Nick, and Howie. So Sophia went first. So then she went, like, obviously said hi to them and then went over there.
Yeah, we got hugs, whatever.
Yeah. So then Diane doesn't speak. So then I'm there.
I said, hi, how
she's
are
mute
you?
at
Like,
this point.
normal. I wasn't mute. I said just normal things, not like, can you please make a jerking off?
So then
motion
I
in this
said to the
photo?
guys, and I'm like, listen, we're going to do this thing. So I was like, hey. And then, so Nick and Howie are both looking at me. And then I was like, okay, so this is what we're going to do. And then Nick looks at my shirt, which was all sparkly and had like kisses on it. And he's like, oh, Howie, she's wearing this shirt for you, like 100 kisses. So then I said, yes, I am. And then I threw my chest into Howie's face for some reason.
I.e. tits.
I was just like,
Yes.
yes, they are. It was, I don't know. It was just a moment. So anyways, that was fine. So then we were talking about this rolling the dice thing. And I'm like, hey guys, so we're going to go like this and we're going to pretend we're rolling dice. And they're like, yeah, okay, sure. So at this point, we are now standing here waiting for Justin to take our picture. And he can't because Kevin is off chit-chatting with somebody else. So I'm like, and Nick was like between me and Diane.
Yeah.
And he's like leaning on us. And he's just like, whatever, let's just relax. I was like, that's fine. He has his arms around us. He's relaxing.
I was very
cool.
relaxed.
I was like, I'm relaxed. Take as much time as you want. Meanwhile, while this is happening, the other wonderful union person is like, oh, this group is taking too long. Kevin's not here. Here, two random people. Please come into the picture. So then it was like, so then these two girls were on either side of Howie. So it was like me. So yeah, so Sophia, whatever. And then Diane, Nick, me,
Kevin,
this
me,
girl,
AJ.
then Howie, and then this other girl. So obviously they did not know about the dick splash motion. So then
Makes it
Kevin
even
comes
better.
back. And do
So
you need
Kevin
one of my
comes
colors?
back, and
do
then
you need?
I'm explaining to him what we're doing. Kevin looks at me like I have two heads. What the hell are you explaining? Then I have AJ helping me to explain what I just literally explained to AJ like 5 seconds ago. And it was quite comical. Then he's like, yeah, I got this, I can do it.
So we take the picture. We kind of get moved off at this point. So at this point, they're all gone. We're like trying to run away because, well, they're trying to run away because they don't whatever. So I'm going to go hug like AJ and Kevin. And then as I'm like over there and Kevin's like, I still don't understand what we did. And then AJ's like, we're going to look so stupid. It's going to look like we're. And then I left right before he said jerking off. But I was dying. And he was like, they were fine. And the picture came out hilarious. And it's like one
It's
of our
one of our
all-time
best
favorite
ones.
pictures.
And so it's just like kind of an inside joke that we have. Some of our friends like know about it, but yeah, if you're ever with us and you're wondering what that's about,
We'll explain it to you because we always do.
yeah. Well, we just did.
What? Mine equals blood.
Mind equals blown.
I don't know what I'm painting. I just
Neither
kind of
do
started,
I.
and then I looked over at Diane, and I was like, "Crap! I should have done that." And I'm like, now I have to not
But
do
I
what
was like-
Diane's doing, and it's just
I'm trying
annoying.
to
So
like,
in
make
other
a boy
words-
band, like I'm trying to make a boy band
Later.
So like the hair and then
When
Yeah.
you
the
see
grass. I don't know.
when you
But
see
I was already
theirs,
doing
you're
grass.
gonna know that they copied me. Anyways,
Are you guys making abs? I mean,
yeah, yeah,
I'm not making
and
it.
making
I'm
abs.
making abs. Oh, that's a good idea. Aww.
I love how
I'm
Dee's
not
always like,
making
oh,
abs.
somebody's copying her. Meanwhile,
Just
I
said
just said it,
you were
though.
copying me.
no, I said I don't know what I was doing. I just chose different paint.
I ran out of yellow, and now I'm trying to fill it with green. I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, anyways. Another
Dee.
thing that I realized that we haven't talked about on this podcast was the Montreal lunch. And we were actually, the memory came up on Facebook the other day, and we were just like dying of laughter at the memory of that Montreal
Oh,
lunch.
I actually, to going back to the first memory, and then I went to a VIP and I showed
yes,
AJ this picture, and he's like, "This is the best picture that has ever happened in VIP." And I was like, "See,
The dick splash?
yes." And then he's
And
like,
clearly we've done better ones since.
"Obviously, yes."
And we also went to a concert. I want to say Darien Lake, and we had a whole bunch of signs. Diane and I, because we were
But, oh yeah,
trying
and
to
AJ
surprise.
was like clearly the most horrified by this. Like the rest of them were just like whatever. And so the best was that he was like, because he was the one that was like, oh my god, he totally got it. So we held up a sign that said, "Hey AJ, roll the dice."
roll
and then
the
he
dice.
started dying laughing.
in the middle of the concert. It was pretty funny.
And then so in the VIP, he's like, I was like, "Oh, we need to like come up with like a better like one, better picture for next time." And he's like, "Oh, how about we do like two-handed fist rolling the dice, or like a ski one?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, we'll think about it next
he wanted
time."
to do one where we were all skiing. Like if you can imagine how that would look.
Yeah,
We never did that yet.
No, we have not.
I'm good with not doing that one.
And I also told him next time I'll show you. I have also not shown him this picture yet.
What picture?
Like of no, sorry, I have shown this picture. Sorry. Continue the next memory.
Okay, sorry. Montreal lunch.
Yes.
So this was, I want to say, the second lunch we had been to with Nick.
Yes. Second lunch.
Yes, because we did the first one he ever did in
Was in
Toronto,
Toronto.
and then this was like the next year.
So, anyways, he had done some other lunches since,
I wish we had brown.
but this was the second one we had ever been to, and it was very different from the first one. Culminated by the fact that it was taking place in Montreal. So many of the people who attended the lunch
Did not speak English.
did not speak English. Or spoke
was-
very limited English.
Which was
Oh, yes.
very entertaining still.
So Nick shows up clearly terrified because he's like, how am I going to talk to these people who don't speak English?
I didn't think he was terrified, but
Not
okay.
terrified, but just nervous. Also, he had been sick.
Oh, yes, he was
So,
sick. Yes,
And
was
he
very
always
sick.
coughs in his hand.
Ew.
Okay, that had
Nick.
nothing to do with this.
That's okay. I just want to let you know that.
Oh, I forgot about that part of it. Okay, yes.
Anyways, so he's like, I think based on whatever, he was a little nervous about that fact.
That he coughs in his hands.
No, that these people didn't speak English.
Okay.
Because he walked in and everybody's like, whoa, Nick's here, blah, blah, you know what I mean? And
Nick.
we're like standing pretty close to the back. And so he just like immediately looks around the room, sees us, and is like, oh, thank God.
And we were in
So-
Boston the day before, so
Yeah. So he's like, hey, whatever. So he chit-chats to us for a little bit. Nothing like really that crazy. But then he's like, okay, I gotta go talk to the rest of these people. So we're like, all right. So he goes off and he goes to a girl, like he meets a few other people, and then there's a girl who's standing like relatively close to us, but like a little bit away. And she's like, Nick, I need to ask you a favor. And he's like, I'm sorry, what?
she's like, Nick, I have a fever, and he's like,
he's
you
like-
have a fever?
Turns to us, looks us dead in the eye, and he's like, you have a fever? And then he's like looking at us like, oh my God, what's wrong with this girl? Right?
And then we were like, no, she has a
so we're like, she's
favor.
asking you for a favor. And he's like, oh, a favor. Sure, I'll do you a favor. So then she like asked him to announce that she was pregnant and she wasn't pregnant. And it was
Yeah,
like
we
very
found out
odd.
afterwards that she wasn't pregnant. But
Yeah.
she's like, Nick's like, oh, congratulations, so-and-so is pregnant. She's like, yeah. So then it's like cute. And then she's like, yeah, see, I told you guys, blah, blah, blah. And she starts going on this like bizarre rant in this video. We're like, so Nick's now looking at us like, what the frig is this chick talking about?
Yeah.
And then afterwards we found out she wasn't actually pregnant, but this is in the future if she ever gets pregnant. She
She's gonna
wanted,
post this video.
Why would you? What?
I don't know.
Okay.
Psycho.
This brush sucks, by the way,
Sure
guys.
does. It
Okay,
sure
listen,
does.
$3.
Okay.
Anyways, so then the lunch continues to go on.
It's kind of boring now to paint, to be honest.
We also meet the craziest person I think we've ever met. Like, we've met some crazy fans,
Yes.
but this broad
But
was
in
like,
the beginning, it was okay.
She
Next
started off
level.
normal.
She was okay in the beginning.
she was next level, okay? So when she hears this chick, like, ask him to, you know,
Announce the pregnancy.
yeah. And then she starts hearing some other girls asking him to do that. She's like, oh, why don't I just call my mom and, like, have him talk to her and blah, blah, blah. And then she did that. And then he was saying that he was sick, so she left the lunch at one point to go buy him lozenges.
That's true, she did.
And it was, like, very bizarre.
She was way more weird, but we're not gonna...
Yeah. And then she was like, we're the only normal people here. We're the only normal people here. And I was like, no, don't
When-
include us in
When you,
in a group
you're
with you.
when you're claiming you're normal, that generally means you're not. So
Yeah. And and she's like asking us like, do you think Nick cheats on his wife?
and we're like, no.
For a friend.
Do you think that it's really him replying to people on Twitter? We're like, yeah, it is. And she's like, how do you know? And we're like, because he's replied to us before. He has? I'm like,
How do I
yes.
get on Twitter? And then
How-
she's trying to get Diane to like
Literally during
sign
the
her up.
lunch.
Nick is
Well-
like performing.
And she's like, how does Twitter work? How do I do this? Don't mind that picture of me.
I'm going to send him a
communicate-
message now and see if he responds,
Yeah,
and
and
then
I'm
we'll
like,
know it's not him.
Well, he's not going to answer you now because he's on stage.
He's literally
That's the
playing
test.
the guitar, like, cool your tits, lady. Like,
Yeah. Oh my God. So she was nuts.
and then we ended up running into her at the concert as well, and she was just,
No, not
no
the concert.
at the after party.
She wasn't going to the concert because it was too expensive.
It was
She
like
just-
$50.
She was just going to go to the lunch, which was like $300, and
The after party.
the after party, which she also paid what, like a ridiculous
50,
amount for.
$60, I don't know.
And so I was just like, oh my God, this chick is nuts. So as we're leaving, like at the very end of the lunch, Nick
Well-
was like, okay, we're going to take pictures. You know what I mean? Like professional photos. So we're in the line and she was like somewhere behind us. And so as we're leaving, she's like, bye guys, bye, bye. Oh, I'll see you later. Bye, bye. And I'm like, no, you will not see us later. Like, you know what I mean? And so I ran.
Oh my God, this
to
is
leave
the best
venue.
ever. Oh my God. This is
Okay.
so funny.
Oh my God, I forgot another part. Well, let's come
There's some
back.
good parts, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I ran to leave the venue. Okay, and may I say that this venue had 2 sets of doors. Okay, so there was a set of doors into like the area where we were all sitting, and there was like a little mini stage and whatever. And then there was an area that we were like using earlier. They had foods and stuff. Chinze ate duck for some reason.
Grossest food ever.
Anyways,
So disappointed.
and so, but they had closed that off to clean up the food while we were like, I guess, watching Nick perform or whatever. And so, when I ran through the first set of doors, they were just open. So then I went to run through the second set of doors, and these guys are just casually walking. And I'm like, let's go, because I want to be gone before this broad takes her picture and like finds us. So I go to run through the second set of doors, and they're locked.
She goes face first into the door.
Face first into
Oh,
the door.
shit.
And the best part is, she was still trying to go through this door, but it was still locked.
It was hilarious.
Amazing.
And so I was like,
So Chins and I are like dying of laughter.
And the like, it was at a hotel, and like hotel venue, people are like, please come through this door. Like, you know.
Awkward.
It was pretty funny.
Anyways, so I forgot another part. So then later, Nick is talking to some other people, and this chick says to Nick, this chick says to Nick, "Oh, you're shorter than I thought you would be."
And she was way shorter than
She's
him.
quite short, okay? So he's like, "You are calling me short?" And she's like, "Well, I'm just saying, like, I thought you would be taller." And he's like, "Okay." He's quite tall, by the way.
I concur.
So she's
Like how tall? Like 5'5"-ish?
he's
5'10"?
6'1"
Like six
at
something?
least.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
6'1".
Yeah, that's nice.
So then he's like makes something like, "Oh, you know, when you get older, like things start, you know, shrinking or whatever." And fucking Chinzia, who overhears
this is great.
What did you say, Chinzia?
Not everything shrinks.
Hey!
And then it's like, and we figured, okay, he doesn't hear this. So, of course, Crazy Broad's like, hey, did you hear her? Hey, did you hear? She said, not everything shrinks. Not everything. And then she's like yelling, and then he like looks at her because she's crazy, and he's like, who said that? And these 2 schmucks
Oh my god, we totally pointed
both
at
point at
Chinzia.
me, and I'm just like pretending that it wasn't me. And then I was just like, yeah, whatever. And then he
Her face
winked.
got red because that's how it goes.
Damn
Yeah.
it, Nick.
Yes. So Chinzia has verbal diarrhea when she speaks to Nick.
You do. It's true. Confirmed.
That's when we gave him the mirror ball, right?
Yes.
Yes.
It looked like you shit your pants.
And Diane always
No,
hates
that
it.
was a different time.
Oh, okay. That was fun though.
So yeah, do you guys have any other things that you want to mention,
From that Montreal lunch.
or from anything?
Lydia, do you have any boy band memories?
Nope. Just
I-
with Aaron.
Well, like,
Been to like Backstreet Boys
You went to
concerts.
Challenge for the Children. You went to.
yeah, but like that was like mostly you. Not about boy bands, but about the times we were there. Like,
Sure.
par exemple, they're like not appropriate though.
Go for it, man.
Do you remember that one time at Challenge for the Children when we found people who were fatter than we were, and we were like, "Yeah, we're the hot ones now."
Yes, I do. That was
That's
great.
why I don't really want to talk about my stories because we're like, "Oh, they're not appropriate and not at all to do with the boy bands." And then when we saw Lindsay Lohan, we're like, "Oh,
We're like, do we take a picture with Lindsay Lohan or do we go eat dinner?
Oh,
We're like, dinner.
yeah.
Damn.
And then
We
there
really
was-
should have taken a picture with her.
Yeah, I know, duh. But then there was a one time when we saw Chris Kirkpatrick with a giant martini glass, and we're like, "Oh, that's kind of funny." And then like we saw in the tabloids like Chris Kirkpatrick has drinking problem, and we're like, "Oh my god!" Like we were there for that. That didn't happen.
Yes.
That was funny. But yeah, just I don't know. Like I met the Backstreet Boys. Like I mean, I took a picture with them, but I'm not like as extensive as you ladies are. But yeah, I don't know. They're good. They're awesome. I love Backstreet. I love Nick. I wish I could see his dong sometimes.
Okay, that escalated quickly.
I'm just putting that out there.
So I tried to put white paint on this egg, and it
My
is not
egg is
going
done,
well.
so-
So now I'm just like clumping it like clouds, and I feel like it looks like ricotta cheese.
I feel like Diane will win.
You have not seen my egg.
I also
Yeah,
would like some
Lydia's
blue.
is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you.
But I mean, mine is it's done.
Mine
and
just
it's-
I need
smudging
blue.
around. So,
Do you have
and
blue?
I'm
Yeah,
done.
I'm done.
I'm
so you
kind
can
of
have the
done.
paint.
now.
All right, I want to just draw arms and then I'm done.
This paintbrush sucks.
I
Oh
feel
my
like
God,
I feel like
you're
the
so
I feel like the
funny.
paintbrush is kind of hard to paint, but yeah.
You guys are all wimps.
All right. So I think that we'll wrap up there then. We're gonna finish.
Did we only
painting
just do
these
2
eggs.
memories though? I feel like there's got to be something better.
I mean, it's been 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well,
So-
wow. I really suck at painting eggs, guys.
So I feel like we can wrap up there. I mean, we can always do another one of these episodes with more of our memories. We have a lot. So,
So, any in the theme of Easter who we think should reconcile and get back together, or what the fuck is happening? Sorry, my paint is
Nick?
falling.
And Aaron.
I think on that cue.
No, I think they're good.
I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think they're okay.
Yeah, I think they're fine.
Sometimes I wonder about Aaron. I get a little concerned.
I think he's back with his girlfriend again, so maybe by the time
Sam?
this airs,
The one
it'll
with,
probably.
Like, the dog, and he's like,
Yeah,
"Baby,
yeah.
a picture from the airport."
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
God bless them then. Wish them all the best.
If you guys want to hear like more of these, I had to literally go ask people like, what do you like to hear on our podcast? So if you would like to voluntarily give us that information, we would be happy.
We can like research and shit. Like we're
Is
good.
there like a specific boy band you want to hear us talk about?
Yeah.
Some sort of incident?
Please let us know. We want you to join the conversation. I ask you every time. Join us in this conversation.
If you are a boy band and would like to be interviewed by us,
We are
Yes.
accepting
our
applications
phone
at this
system
time.
now works. So, yes, if you actually are a fan that has a really interesting story or something you want to talk about, we could probably also
Like, you know.
do an actual like call and, whatever, do like a thing.
This is like a legit radio station.
Other podcasters, if you want to do some sort of joint podcast with us, we can do this, brah. Let's do this. Let's
All
have
right.
fun.
So, we're going to finish painting these eggs and then we're going to post them up for you guys to vote on.
Yeah,
And next week, we will see you live-ish from Vegas.
Woo! Vegas, baby. What
All right.
up?
Thanks for taking a break with us, guys.
Until next time.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.